Hello beautiful beings, my name is Selena Glenn. I'm a television and film major, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about fake news and how it relates to the January 6th riot. So, I have a few important notes on my laptop that I'll be speaking on. So the first thing is, what is fake news? So the definition that I have is that fake news is false or misleading information presented by the news. Fake news often has the aim of damaging the reputation of a person or portraying the situation in a better light than what it really is. The documentary that we watched in class, the QAnon documentary, was about the January 6th riot to the Capitol building. So the situation was basically where, after the Trump presidency, Joe Biden won as president-elect of the United States, and Trump essentially was making messages that told his followers to riot and go storm the Capitol. And although that is controversial as to whether he incited the violence or not, a lot of sources say that he did, based off the tweets that he was making, the claims he was making, and he did not stop the situation until hours after it had already been damaging, and police officers had been killed and hurt, and information was released from the Capitol building that shouldn't have been, and a lot of House representatives and members of the Senate were very much in fear of their lives during the situation because they had to hide in rooms, and the police were not prepared for, thousands and thousands of Trump supporters to come and riot. Somebody that has lived in the DMV their whole lives, I went to a conservative private school at the time of the Capitol riots, and fake news was brought up a lot in church services that we had, brought up in class discussions from my teachers who had opposing views from my own. And they believed that not only was Trump did not incite the violence, they said that the media was portraying the situation to be worse than it actually was. But one of my uncles is actually in the police force, and he was talking about his situation and how it was even worse than what was portrayed in the media, and how the ugly comments they would make to him, calling him the N-word, and even one part in the documentary, the part where they didn't even know what they were arguing about, and talking about how they thought that Ted Cruz was against them, when actually he voted for the recount of the ballots, even though there were multiple recounts of these ballots. And so during the Trump presidency, he brought his own definition of fake news, where if there was any news that painted him in a bad light or any news that exposed the truth about him, he would claim it as fake news so that his supporters and followers would not deem it as a reliable source. And so this was really damaging to us as a society, to the political standards of society as well, because it made people not, trust in him or trust in the news and the actual sources. So I found a few facts that we talked about in class helpful about how to decipher real news from fake news. And so one of the main ones that was super helpful that we spoke about was to check the source to make sure it doesn't have any, strong extensions, or to make sure it doesn't have any suspect website names. And also another key thing that I hadn't thought about until Dr. P mentioned it in class was to Google reverse image the photos that you use, so that you make sure that they're actual images, because a lot of people like to, distort images, and they like to edit them differently and weird to paint these politicians in bad lights. So to Google reverse the image is very helpful. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you learned more about fake news and how it portrays our current society. Let me know down below if you think you can decipher fake news better after watching this video. Bye beautiful beings, I'll see you in another video.